Sup, Ryu here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Welcome to the guide to decide on Phantom Knight's PK Fire slash Burning Abyss all rolled into one beautiful video. Because in all seriousness, you guys, I asked you last week, what would you like me to go over? If you didn't have an answer, I'd probably just do one for Metaphors, because it's something I wanted to do. And you guys were like, I need help with Phantom Knights. So, I got an entire list of what to go over for you guys. And hopefully we'll slam it down to about 10 maybe 15, 20 minutes. So let's get this underway without wasting any time. Phantom Knight slash Burning Abyss or PK Fire, because sometimes, you get PK Fire, which is Burning Abyss with Phantom Knights. So, but to the point, Phantom Knights are a rank 3 deck that focuses on basically going break sword, popping something on the board, and making something even bigger that is a dark rank 4. Burning Abyss, on the other hand, have such a grind game that Phantom Knights do too, and when you combine the two, especially with Dante and whatnot being around, it's a beautiful, beautiful peanut butter and jelly effect where basically it's these two things pushed together that create this super duper ridiculous deck. Needless to say, the grind game is through the roof. So I'm going to give you all the outs. Now, I don't suggest every single one of these cards to be used, but just to give you an idea what you should use. So let's get into this. We have Dark Law. He's number 1. You can, if you have a dark deck or just heroes, you can mass change with heroes. You can mass change a second with dark decks and go into it, and then just basically nothing will be sent to grave. It'll all be banished out, and you won't have to worry about it. But keep in mind that Phantom Knights have cards that are like Fiendish Chain, but they're themed to base, so they can search it out. Keep in mind that they also can power pump, and keep in mind one break sword will take out that Dark Law pretty damn quickly, needless to say. I mean, you will stun the hell out of them, so it is a thing. But you gotta just be ready for it. D-Fissure, Macros Cosmos. These two go back and forth together because they work so well against it. You can focus on banishing it all out for them because that's what Phantom Knights love to do. They love to take their graveyard and banish it out. Why not do it for them so that way they can't do it against you? Maxi, great card. They use it to basically get draw power off your play after they make a giant board for you to try to jump over and stun you. So it's either you try to make a big board back and they replenish your hands, grind game comes in, and then they go from there. But you could use Maxi against them and have the same kind of effect. Majesty's Fiend, again, you'll have to still deal with the back row, but otherwise than that, Majesty's Fiend just shuts down the deck. It's like a walking Necro Valley against the deck, and we'll talk about that because there is something that is a walking Necro Valley to go against the deck. But Majesty's Fiend is a beautiful thing because no monster effects will activate. Chain Disappearance for the little guys. You banish them out and you say, nope, you ain't getting it, you ain't having it. I don't really recommend Chain Disappearance in this matchup too much because honestly it doesn't do as much as it does for a few other decks. Stygian Dirge, it's a continuous lowering the levels of your opponent's monsters, so that's always great. So this way, all their rank 3s can't be accessed because all their monsters will be level 2 instead of level 3. If you can get this on the board turn 1, right before they're going to go to that Dante play, you stun them. And if they don't have Twin Twister to get over it, they're going to have to sit there and use the grind game to deck them into a Twin Twister. And that alone is going to slow them down dramatically. So I can't really recommend Stygian Dirge enough, so that sounds like something for you, then go for it. There's also Skullmeister, which was used in the Dark World format. If you want to call it Dark World format, it was when Dark Worlds were popular. This was a really popular card. You can go back and use it again. There's nothing really stopping you that's saying you can't use this card. And you may actually find use against a few other decks that are topping with Skullmeister there. But the only thing is, Skullmeister is kind of hit or miss. But he's another hand trap, so there's that. Royal Decree for all the back row. There's, just stun them out. No back row for you. And just run over everything because it's all negated. It's beautiful. Then it's one less thing you really have to worry about. It's like having freaking Utopia the Lightning on the board and just stunning your opponent, saying, "What are you gonna do now? What you gonna do now, brother? When I play this Royal Decree all over your field." It's a beautiful, beautiful situation when you play Royal Decree against a Phantom Knight player, because they just sit there and they go, "Oh, yeah, well, I can activate them in the graveyard, but fuck." I mean, they still have an amazing grind game with the monsters, so that's still something you're going to have to play over, and, Decree alone is not going to help you with that. There's also Fairy Wind and Trap Stun, basically the same kind of concept, like if you're playing Mirror Match, though, and you want to basically stun them so you can set up your board. That's pretty much the best way to do. And it goes without saying by now, Twin Twister is also a fantastic option to use against the deck. The only thing is that they plus off tons of shit. So if you can basically use Macros Cosmos against them with Twin Twister, you have a deck that doesn't care about banishing stuff out, then you're going to just have a fantastic time with that. Or, stay with me here, you're playing Heroes, and you got the Dark Law on the board, and then you play the Twin Twister, and then they all go banish, but yours don't go banish. It's a lovely situation, I tell you what. No, honestly, things like that I just love about this game. Being able to stun your opponent. I hate going against that kind of stuff, but I love watching it because it's like, damn. I'm just glad that isn't me, not done that way. Moving onward from that awkward situation of talking about Heroes with Twin Twister and Dark Law, like that's not consistent at all. It totally freaking is. Necro Valley works against a plethora of decks. Necro Valley is going to be able to say, no effects in the graveyard. This little section here, we're going to focus on that graveyard. So Necro Valley, fantastic field spell card, going to stun them. They can't banish out. They can't utilize their graveyard effects. It really does hurt them. Now, here's a fun theory. If you combine Necro Valley with something like Royal Decree, you will lock them out of the back row and lock them out of their graveyard effects, stunning them effectively. You know what deck could probably do that? Maybe Blue Eyes, because Blue Eyes doesn't really play lots and lots of back row. So that is something that you could think about. I'm not really suggesting it's 100% going to win you the match, but it will make it a lot easier for you. Obviously, Necro Valley is going to hurt you to some degree, but you got to look at the payoff. Just pretty much set up your board, play the Necro Valley, laugh your ass off, go home. It's a wonderful time. Soul Drain. This is also another fantastic card. It pretty much works like Necro Valley. I did say this whole section part was going to be about the graveyard, and Soul Drain does just that. It comes out, it says, nope, you don't get to do that. Abyss Dweller, also another great card, but the thing is, Abyss Dweller is just pretty much, I have it in my extra deck, I'm going to bust it out, and I'm going to stun you for that game 1 status. Not really, I don't want to say it's not worth it for game 2, it is, but there's, that's when you actually get to side stuff in. So game 1, it's like, okay, play Abyss Dweller, make big play, shut the deck down, and just win. That's pretty much the game plan. Fossil Dyna, fantastic card to use against them because they can't special summon. Yeah, that pretty much goes without saying. They just can't special summon the rank 3s. If you turn 1 that and then flip up Macros Cosmos, it's like Q, and then play Moon Mirror Shield with it. It's disgustingly good. Karma Cut, banish out their monster. They won't have it back, but keep in mind, it's a discard. I mean, with Twin Twister, everyone's using Twin Twister, so I think everyone's okay with it. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, I'm gonna nullify those dark monsters in the graveyard. They can't banish out to get their effects. The Burning Abyss end of things can't utilize their effects. Chain this to that Beatrice play, and that Beatrice is gonna be like, God damn, I wanted to stun you, and you stunned me. Especially if you're a Blue Eyes player, Shadow Imprisoning is the perfect card to really make use against that PK Fire matchup. It really is. And it will help you some degree, not completely, some degree in the Cosmos matchup. So that's also another thing. Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries. I cannot stress this enough. The card is expensive right now, like 25 a piece. To me, that is still expensive for a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That just may be me. But it's probably going to go up higher once we get ABCs into the TCG card pool, per se. And I can't stress this enough. Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries is still extremely good against this deck. But the only downside is you have to basically just sack off 1 or 2 of your spots and say, okay, do I want to hit Dante? Hitting Dante is fucking huge, number 1. And do I want to hit fucking, what's the other one? Phantom Knight Breaksword. You can cripple the deck. Absolutely cripple it. Tell me, what are you going to do if someone double winter cherries you? It can happen. I mean, most likely they're only going to get the one off. And realistically, okay, hit Dante, that hits the speed of the deck, you slowed it down. And there's a good chance you could draw in the second one and go from there. So it's really good. Vanity's Fiend, Vanity's Emptiness. Stop them from special summoning. What can I really say? It's so freaking good. When you stop them from special summoning, it's so freaking ridiculously fun to do. I'm sorry, it just is. Banisher of the Radiance works like Deep Vision Macros Cosmos. We talked about it last week, where basically any card sent to the grave is going to be banished instead. End of Anubis, we talked about this last week as well. It's a walking Necro Valley. So, you Monarch players, and I know you're still out there, and there's nothing wrong with that, make use of End of Anubis in your side deck, because you're going to be focusing on tributing. You might as well have this in there, because they can't use their grave, and if you have the Dominion lock, they won't be able to utilize their freaking extra deck too. So, that's a huge shutdown to them. Mischief of the Yokai. There's a fun loop involving Mischief of the Yokai and Cypher and Lord Omega. I'll explain it really quickly because Tuesday we should be, or whenever I put up the zombies that banish out and whatnot, I'm going to show that combo off. We'll probably be talking about Tech Tuesday. Also, we're going to be going really into that. But the thing with Mischief of the Yokai is you can banish it on your opponent's turn, drop all their monsters by like 2 levels or whatnot. Or it's 1, it's 2 when you activate it, or it's 1 when you activate it and 2 in the grave. It's something along those lines I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry, I don't have my phone in front of me. But you banish out the Mischief for the Yokai, then stand by face, Cypher and Lord Omega, put it back, do it all over again. You constantly lock them out from using their extra deck. It's so ridiculously easy and fun to do, and if you have multiple Cypher and Lord Omegas, which there are a lot of decks that can do it, Dark Synchro, I'm looking at you, then you're going to really have some freaking fun, and it's disgusting the things you can get away with. Alright, for the last batch, I want to mention Imperial Ironwall, because they do block out their own stuff. It's not for the Burning Abyss side of things, that's more for the Phantom Knight side of things. I also want to mention a much older card momentarily, but Ironwall just stops the Phantom Knight, and it does not stop really the Burning Abyss end, so that's a thing to keep in mind. But I'm going to recommend it either which way. Crevice into a different dimension, you could target 2 of the same attribute in the graveyard and banish them. So there has to be 2 with the same attributes, to say like 2 lights. This is a common, it's old as anything. I think it came out when Infernities came out, so keep that in mind. Rivalry of the Warlords. I'm a little exhausted right now, so I can't speak correctly. It just happens. That's a thing you can use as Rivalry. Chaos Trap Hole, and a card called Mischief of the Gnomes, because Mischief of the Gnomes is like a permanent version of Mischief of the Yokai. So Chaos Trap Hole, obviously, it's another counter trap card if you don't mind paying the light points. There's that, it's a whole freaking dark deck, so do what you will. Anyways, I just want to say quickly, thank you guys so much for watching and just supporting the channel. Every day gets more and more and more and more, bigger and bigger. And I hopefully I'm keeping the content up there where you guys are enjoying it constantly. If there is a deck that if there is a deck you want me to cover next week on Guide to Your Side, let me know. I always have stuff lined up, but I always like to hear back from you guys and make stuff for you before I just make what I feel like making, to be completely honest. So let me know what you guys think about all this. If I left anything out, make sure to put it in the comment section below. And I will see you next week for Guide to Your Side, but I will see you tomorrow on Labor Day, of all days, for coffee time. And it's going to be a fun one. So I'll see you then. Peace.